Hey everybody, this is the Facebook Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why you should invest in Facebook ads right now. Okay, that was me trying to be dramatic, so didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Here comes episode 99. Facebook Ads with the Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Welcome everybody to episode 99. Did it sound dramatic? Y'all can just let me know. I'm just not that good at those kinds of things. So I am actually excited about this episode. I've read through what I want to talk about several times and modified it several times and everything, and I just, it's important. So let's just kind of get right to it. So the first thing I want to kind of talk about is what are your current marketing efforts in your business? I want you to think about that because tons of people come to me and they schedule appointments and we talk and stuff, and they literally have no idea what their marketing is going to look like. They've spent so much time developing, their program or their course or their client base or whatever it is that they really haven't focused on their marketing. And they've been getting by just fine, but many of them are realizing that they have to be more proactive if they want to continue doing what they're doing and ultimately scale it, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So what are your marketing efforts? So I put them in two categories. I guess technically there's a third, and this is not the end all be all list. I'm just trying to give you an idea, but there's an active category and a passive category. So active are like, you're running ads or Facebook group responses. I know a lot of people go into Facebook groups and respond to people and then they get clients that way, or cold emails. Whether you agree with doing that or not, those are highly effective, but cold emails, cold calling, SEO, direct mail, emailing your list, those are all active things that you can be doing for marketing efforts, right? So what are you doing? Now, if you're doing more passive things like you post a blog once a week or Facebook Live, podcast, or just post on your business page or even your personal page, those are all more passive things. They may seem active because you're actually doing something, but they're passive because you're not driving traffic there, right? And you're not actually reaching out to them. You're expecting people to read what you did. Okay, so it's a more passive way, and it may be effective for you, and that's okay. But what you want to think about is how can you scale it? Now, you can either put in more time, right? Sweat equity, you can do that, or you can spend more money. Those are really the biggest two things, or you can do some combination of those two. The thing is you can make a really good living without doing Facebook ads at all. You really can. You can make just an outstanding living not doing not one Facebook ad, and that's fine. And some people are okay with that. The challenge is that when you want to go to automate, or you want to really take yourself out of the business and stop putting in so much time and effort so that you can focus on the parts that you really enjoy versus trying to drive in more business, that makes it tough because you can't scale it, right? If you haven't been doing any kind of paid advertising. It just makes it difficult. You can do a bunch of joint ventures. That'll help. But that tends to dry up over time. Not always, but generally speaking, it tends to dry up. But you can do that, right? So learning how to do Facebook ads is a big, can be a big part of your business if you want it to be. So because Facebook ads are an investment of both time and money, I hear a lot of negative thoughts from people around it. So I just want you to, for now, just kind of suspend your belief in these things, right? Quit telling yourself that they're confusing. Quit saying that you can't do them. Quit saying that they don't work because you ran a campaign and you spent, $500 and nobody bought. You got to quit saying those kinds of things because the more you say them, the more true they are, right? And so our thoughts are, and I say this all the time, our thoughts are just as important surrounding our Facebook ads as they are our life in general. If we have the kind of thoughts that our Facebook ads aren't going to work, then you're exactly right. They're not going to work. or if you have, I don't know what this belief is that somehow you're supposed to be able to run ads a couple of times and they magically take off, and you make a huge amount of money. Well, sometimes, yeah, that does happen, but more often than not, it doesn't. We just tend to gravitate towards those stories of the people who tell us, yeah, they had huge success the first time they ran an ad. All right, but that's not typically how it works, and it takes several iterations of your offer and your ad to make your process work. It's just the way it goes. So you have to be in it for the long haul, not the short haul. This is not a quick hit, quick win kind of deal. It's just not. Don't say things like, "Oh, I'm just going to hire somebody. I'm going to hire Ben, or I'm going to hire somebody else to do," which I would love to do that for you. But the thing is that hiring somebody else somehow in our minds will somehow absolve you from having to learn how to do this. And marketing is a crucial part of your business. It just is. Even if you don't like it, you can't offload absolutely every bit of it. You need to know what's going on, and you need to be able to know how to do it yourself. So you just got to quit saying whatever it is that you're saying that keeps you from learning how to do ads. All right, stop doing that. Now, if you don't start to learn ads, like let's just say that you don't, then where are you going to be in 6 months, right? If you don't do it now, I mean, when are you going to do it? Are you going to ever make the time? I mean, you've got to set aside the time. This is a business, and when you're in business, you have to set aside times for things like learning how to grow your business. I mean, that's just part of it. And if you're not going to do Facebook ads, that's okay. Then what tactic are you going to use to reach whatever goal it is that you have? So that's what you have to kind of identify and what you have to know. So I wanted to kind of give you a 30-day plan, and I wish I'd thought about this a little more. It was clear in my head when I put it down on paper, but I wish I'd kind of done this into a weekly model, but I didn't. So I'm basically going to give you like 5 steps. Okay, and you can do this over the course of the next 30 days to get your ads up and running. All right, so the first week or so, okay, is you want to establish a budget, right? You want to define what you're willing to spend, what you can use to run your ads. We're not using grocery money. If you go back to episode 97, I talked to you about numbers and budgeting and stuff. Please listen to that, because you have to establish your budget to make your business work. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants, or you just happen to get, if you're in the U.S., you happen to get the coronavirus check. And you're like, okay, I'll use that for my ads. No, that doesn't work. I'm not saying you can't use some of that money. I'm just saying that's not how planning your budget works. Because if you're going to be in business, you have to treat it like a business. My business personally instantly shifted when I quit treating it like a side gig and started treating it like a business. I'm not even joking about the second that I made that shift. I mean, I had more business than I could handle, right? I had to turn people away, and I was charging way more than I ever had because I couldn't take all the people in that I could. I just couldn't take them all on. I didn't have enough infrastructure of people that worked for me at the time and stuff. It just didn't work out. But the second that I made that shift and I looked at my business as a business versus just some side gig or hustle or just trying to get by, that's when it all took off. Now, maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want a side hustle. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that. Okay. So, do it accordingly, obviously. So establish your budget and set up your tracking. Do that as soon as you possibly can if you haven't already. And your tracking means set up your Facebook pixel. There are 15 bajillion videos on YouTube about how to set up your Facebook pixel. So if you're using WordPress, type in YouTube, WordPress, Facebook pixel, and you're set. Okay. Even Facebook has their own instructions how to do it, but do that. Okay. You can, in my courses, you can do that. In my membership, I'll show you how to do that. But set up the pixel so you can go ahead and get the tracking going. Next, you want to make sure you have researched your target market and write it down. And I'm telling you, if you did not research your target market before you started developing your offer, you need to go back and do that. All right, and make sure that your offer works for your target market. All right, please do that. But you got to research your target market so you're going to know how to set up your targeting when you're ready to run ads. The next thing is, and you probably should actually order this the first week, but order a copy and read the Adweek Copywriting Handbook by Joe Sugarman. It's awesome. It'll teach you not everything you need to know about copy, but it will make your copy incredibly, 10 times better than it is. And so then you're going to write your ad copy. Your next step is you want to look for images. So you can stalk your competitors, see what they're doing. You can use Adobe Stock and take those. That's what I use. Okay, it's paid. You can use Unsplash. I don't really care. Canva, you want to learn how to use Canva because to me that's probably the easiest thing to learn how to do to get your images the way that you want, especially if you're going to put text over them or make any other modifications. And you're going to want to create 3 to 5 images. And lastly, now you want to actually learn how to input your ads. Okay? Inputting your ads is crucial, right? You have to do them correctly. But that's not the first thing that you want to do when you're trying to run Facebook ads. And that's what most people do. They start trying to learn how to input the ad. And then by the time they get to all the way to the part where you actually create the ad, that's when they start thinking about the copy or the image or whatever. Let's not do that. Or the tracking. Okay? Inputting the ads is last. And that's it. Okay, if you'll do that over the next 30 days, segment your time, okay, establish the budget, set up the tracking, target market, copywriting handbook, images, input the ad, then you'll be well on your way to creating successful Facebook ads. All right, that's all I got. I know I went a little bit over, but I hope it was worth it, and I'll see you guys on episode 100. Oh my gosh, see you there.